If you also have amazing gameplay segments you captured from our games, spread the joy and submit them on the link displayed on your screen right now.
Here we go.
All right, guys, it is time for us to wrap up this pre-show.
Don't forget to stay tuned for
I really
our
hope
post-show
Valhalla
featuring
looks
a
better
deep
than
dive
it
into
did
the world of
in the
Assassin's Creed
leaks.
Valhalla.
The fucking
Thanks a lot
release
for
date
watching
got
this
leaked
pre-show
as
and
well.
enjoy Ubisoft
They've got
Forward.
literally nothing left as a surprise. They couldn't even keep the release date under wraps. Need a crew free? The crew's terrible. Why would you want a crew free?
This is Ubisoft Forward.
Going forward, we will hopefully not have awful employees that commit awful things. Hopefully. Allegedly.
Join us.
Hi everyone, I'm Neelam Kumar and I'm very excited to be co-hosting the first Ubisoft Forward with the talented Yusuf Mageed. Today's show is all about getting up close and in-depth with all the exciting games we have in production here at Ubisoft.
I'm Yusuf, but there's no time to waste. So let's head straight for the streets of futuristic London.
Hey, Watch
See what
Dogs.
the hackers of DedSec are getting into.
When's it coming out? I'm probably going to like this game just because it's set in London. There's a bias. I know, I'm sorry. Not actual gameplay, no.
London are not the work of several people as was originally believed, but the work of an individual.
This was supposed to be out already. This was supposed to be out in March or May? Let me check. Let's get right into the game by not showing the game.
Authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
First, they came for the foreigners, and I did not speak out.
Oh, this is going to piss people off. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Good. Fuck them.
Then they came for the protesters.
Supposed to come out in March
I
this
did
year.
not speak out because I was not a protester.
We are not making a political statement. While making a political statement.
Then they came for the journalists, and I did not speak out because I was not a journalist.
Oh, I can't wait for the fucking salt in the comment sections.
And then they came for street artists, but I did not speak out because I am not a street artist.
I really hope there's more like parkour in this game. I feel like Watch Dogs 2 was a letdown in that situation. I guess because the place it was set in wasn't very densely populated. Buildings were quite far apart, so they couldn't really do that. Whereas Chicago was quite dense. Can we see the game, please? I mean, we've already seen like 20 minutes, 30 minutes of gameplay of this game anyway, so... That's the problem when they announce something so early.
That eventually they'd come for me.
They've gotten away from the realism.
There would be no
No, this
one
is
left to
Britain
speak for
in
me.
a couple of years, mate. This is Britain now. Bloody hell, Governor. Crikey. Let's get to Hogwarts. Let's get the fuck out of here. Next time, call an Uber.
After a long night, London
Terrorists escape.
The main arteries through the city are blocked. Hundreds of heavily armed Albion.
Well. Welcome to the Resistance. Here's a welcome gift for our new members.
But the disappearance of the criminal.
You could have told me it was a bloody costume party.
Try it on.
The new key suspect has been identified as David Ford, a 43-year-old London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is currently believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not to approach him. The authorities advise all residents...
Reclaim your future. Your future's already decided for, I'm afraid.
Clint has been a longtime creative force here at Ubisoft, and now he's bringing this vision to Watch Dogs Legion.
So yeah, what we just saw was an amazing
Not actual
short film by
gameplay.
the director Alberto Mielgo that was inspired by Watch Dogs Legion and looks at the game and the universe and the characters through his incredible artistic vision and visual style.
The city needs a resistance.
And now for the
Like
actual
film,
gameplay.
Watch Dogs Legion tells the story of ordinary heroes setting aside their differences in order to come together as a collective and to fight for a positive change. You can literally recruit and play anyone who you see in the open world. You
We'll see
profile
how this
people that
goes.
are interesting to you, you help them with their problem, you play their origin mission.
Just help me get some closure and I'll do whatever you want.
You can play as any character you want,
Leave it to us.
and they will
that's
be
how
in
you
every
recruit them
cutscene,
into
no matter
your team,
what character
and
you
then
play
they become the
as.
heroes of the game and the stars of your story.
And what are you doing in my
How is
flat?
that going to
You with
work?
Albion?
Please,
I still don't know how it's
think
going to
more
work.
underground.
You with Albion?
I'm tickled, but think more underground.
What, DedSec? Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara.
Like that, I
You're
guess.
done.
And they
But
make
that's
the
only two
story
examples.
Not only, you know, unique
It's
to them,
even, I
but
reckon it's
unique
going to be
you as the
very
player and
limited.
personal to
They're
you
making it
because
out like
you know, heroes that you've chosen and invested in.
there's a million
What would I
different
say to fans? I guess I'd say, you know,
characters, but I
take
bet
care of
there's
yourself,
not
stay
many.
safe. Welcome to the Resistance.
Either that or there's only going to be a few cutscenes where the actual
London
individual
town,
characters are in,
a
you know.
modern metropolis built on history and prosperity. Only took 12,000 years to build it up and one night to tear it all down.
Yep. June, what date was it? June 2016?
Oh my god. Listen up. Get all your units to move in and lock down the city.
With London under attack by a mysterious terrorist, the
23rd of
government
June.
turns to a private military company called
2016.
Albion to keep
Wait a minute, shit.
everyone safe. What could possibly go wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nigel Cass, CEO of
Mr. Nigel
Albion.
Farage.
He's kindly stepped up to establish order.
But people, there aren't any guns in the UK, so how's this going to work?
Not even myself. Jeopardize
Are we not
this.
going to have any guns?
He
Are
will
we just
stop
going to
at
have like
nothing to permanently
tasers
control
and
the city.
batons?
London will be the first city in the world to be made truly safe.
Nigel's not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this fair city. Meet Mary Kelly.
There's gonna be loads
head
of
the most
knives and
powerful
stabbing.
crime syndicate in London.
Be sure and spread the word.
She and her goons are using the dark web to sell everything from party pills to people.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I got to keep tracks on my merchandise.
Even I can't understand
You make
her.
me a slave.
That's an insanely thick accent.
You do not want to ruffle her feathers. With the city out on its arse, it now falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out.
Any of the brave Londoners you see walking the streets can be
007.
recruited into your team.
Left, right, left, right, left, right. Up the
Or
monarchy.
even her. Everyone could become your next secret weapon. In our first mission, we need to
Like
get
I said,
some
this is
dirt on
actually
Nigel Cass,
what Britain
and
is
that
like right
means
now.
breaking
So it
into
is
Albion
realistic.
headquarters inside the Tower of London.
Ooh.
All the hardy souls you see here are people we have recruited from
Things
the
they've already
streets of
made
London. They all have
Syndicate,
unique
which was in
abilities,
London.
and you're free to
They
tackle
already
this
kind of
mission with whoever
have explored
you like.
this
God, my eyes.
area.
Mikey. Zip up, get to work, and let's never talk about this again.
Like everyone in DedSec, Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But as a construction worker, he has a particular set of tools that make him
nice.
handy. He can even call his
Oh,
own
nice.
cargo
Look at the
drone.
melee. Okay, so the melee looks a lot more involved. It's very
Perfect
basic.
for gate crashing.
in the
When you're not
in the
invited.
last 2 games. It was literally just
But
a
who
button
needs a
press. I
regular
think.
old gun when you have a bloody
What
nail
nail
gun?
gun, Christ.
Come here, you soidoid shit.
This actually looks pretty good. I like the look of this actually.
Jesus Christ, what is that thing?
So drone, you were just
Perhaps
on
we
one,
can
you
approach
pillock.
this mission differently. If you'd rather keep your distance, we've got you covered.
I'm playing as him.
Amy is a drone expert,
What have we here?
a real tech connoisseur.
Hate spiders, but love this one.
I like the UI a lot.
What an
But the UI looks
adorable
really good.
creepy crawler.
Here we are. Let's class the place up.
A drone expert does have the unique ability to summon their own drone. This little darling is fast and stealthy.
She aims, she fires.
Like it
she
looks
hits.
surprisingly fluid and like polished.
Incoming drones.
Well, it did until that jump animation.
She can also hack enemy drones, turning the tide in her favor. And if you are not into direct
Did
confrontation,
you play the first
there are
Watch
more
Dogs? The
ways
Watch
than
Dogs,
one to
first
get
Watch
the
Dogs
job
was
done.
not very serious. The Watch Dogs had spider tank
Recruiting
missions
an Albion
and
officer like
crazy
Brielle here
drug-filled
might be challenging.
levels.
But it'll get you inside restricted Albion areas.
Don't mind me, just doing recon for a bunch of insurgents.
Bloody hell.
However, do anything suspicious and she'll probably wind up with a bullet in the back of her head.
You've been approved for entry.
Kind of seems very, a bit
I
Hitman.
can get the defense minister on the line right now.
If you feel you must.
Uh-oh. Fuck me. Nigel Farage?
Criminals running our streets.
Only somehow not
threatening our
even
families.
close to
The
being as
police
much of an
commissioner
asshole.
himself. Assassinated by terrorists.
Well, that seems to be enough evidence. Next up, we're crashing Mary Kelly's organ farming
Mary Kelly.
operation and putting a stop
Mary,
to
is that
it.
supposed to be like Mary Berry?
That's good. The buyers expect high quality stuff.
And we need a hard nut for this.
Impairing our frontal lobe again, are we?
Bags, don't disturb me in my natural habitat.
Say hello to Mickey. The man lives for his team.
That put another hair on my chest.
And doesn't mind getting his hands dirty.
Like it looks really like, I don't know, I really like camera angles and stuff. Looks really cool. And the
He
graphics
does
are
have
kind
a
of,
slight drinking problem, though.
but it's not a next-gen game, is it, really?
And he's passed out. Ah, well, we'll come back to him.
Like, it looks really fancy.
You know what? Let's go with someone a bit more professional.
I'm getting a lot of Hitman vibes from this.
It's almost crass to call him a hitman.
Hitman. Yeah, this looks a lot better than Watch Dogs 2. A lot better.
Some might even call him an artist.
Look how fancy like the animation camera work is. Look at it. Fucking, you feel like fucking James Bond.
Here's the bastard responsible. Done and dusted.
Not bad if I do say so, innit?
Innit, bruv?
Not everyone in London is a legendary assassin or a super spy, but everyone can be a hero.
Everyone is suddenly like a secret agent spy.
So get out.
Aston Martin,
Find the
but it's not an
best
actual
recruits
Aston Martin. Because they
build
couldn't get the
your
license for it, probably. DB5. Whoa!
It's time to take back London.
From the fascists. October 29th. Right, okay.
Plunging the player into a living, breathing city teeming with unique locales and
living, breathing
characters
world.
has always been a central pillar of the Watch Dogs series.
So what goes into building those worlds? Here's Amanda Mutt to tell us more.
It's on well, it will be on next gen, but it's not a next gen game, is it really? It's built with from It's built
My
for
name's
this
Amanda
current
Mumps.
gen.
I'm a level artist on Watch Dogs Legion.
Like all of these
at
games are
Ubisoft
not
Toronto.
built for next gen. Maybe
Being a
Far
level
Cry
artist,
6
I think,
might
is
be.
the coolest job in video games
Scotland
because
Yard.
we do get the freedom to kind of like pick and choose what little details we want to depict, and we get ample opportunities to tell the stories that we want to tell in the spaces that we're assigned to. I have the capacity to hide things and, you know, like small little Easter eggs. In AC Unity,
Hey,
there
let's
was a
talk about the
boat somewhere in
worst
the world
Assassin's
that was
Creed
covered in
game ever
cats.
made.
And then it happened again in Watch Dogs 2.
And Watch Dogs 2,
And
which is not
there
very good
may or may
either.
not be something in London that is a boat filled with cats in some capacity.
Spoilers.
I was fortunate enough to go to E3 last year. Some of the people that I was showing our demo to were from London. So no matter where I dropped them in the city, they'd go, oh my God, this feels like Camden. This, you know, this feels like Southwark. This feels like Westminster. When people are talking about some detail that I've put into the world and they're excited about it, like that feels so good as somebody who, you know, builds these worlds with care. I love it.
Brawlhalla. Okay. Odd. Are they bringing
And
this
now
up?
some news for Brawlhalla fans. In just a few weeks, you'll be able to battle it out with your favorite legends
On the Switch?
iOS
No.
and Android devices.
Oh, okay. Is it already on the Switch? Do people still play this game? I completely forgot about it.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
It's not really my type of game. Over 40 million players. No, I doubt there's 40 million people playing it right now. This seems like an awful game to put on iOS. It'd be like putting Super Smash Bros. On iOS. It just seems like a bad idea. Wow, cross-play with everyone? That's a real bad idea. It's got Adventure Time in it. August 6th? Not that far away. I keep forgetting we're already in July. Mr. Bear.
And now, whether you need a Tom Clancy action fix on the go or want to dive back into one of the most
no.
beloved fantasy franchises in gaming, we've got you covered.
What? What's happening? What do you mean, Tom Clancy on the go? Oh, Might and Magic. I know nothing about card games. This is for you, Jax. Or not. It's been a great 7 months. 30 million hours played. If there is ever a case for false advertisement, it would be card games. Because they have the biggest load of bullshit. Oh, it's an old school RPG. So what's I always get confused with Might and Magic and Magic the Gathering. Isn't it first person old school dungeon crawler type thing that have been really shit? The last ones have been really shit. Oh no, it's on the phone. Oh dear. But like the trailers do not represent the game at all. Oh no. What are they doing now? What's this, Fortnite? They started off strong with Watch Dogs and now they're doing this. Whatever this is. Is this Rainbow Six Siege or something? Like a mobile version of it?
Contact! Montaigne is down. Request air support. Target northeast rooftop.
Roger. Inbound. Danger close.
I need an EMP deployed now.
EMP imminent.
Well, Rainbow Six Siege is a hero shooter.
Get back in your cell.
Oh my god. What have you done to fucking Splinter Cell man? What's his name? I forget his name.
Hey, take this.
Don't make me regret this.
Oh no. What are you doing to one of your most beloved franchises and characters? Sam Fisher, yeah. Oh no. Why are you fucking shitting on Sam Fisher so much? Come on, give him his own game. It's been 7 years. 7 years.
Speaking of Tom Clancy, it's been 5 years since Rainbow Six Siege first launched, and the community has never been stronger.
You make an
In
Assassin's Creed
celebration
game
of this
every year,
milestone,
but a
Ubisoft
Splinter Cell
Montreal
game, you
has
can't
put
do that,
together
can
a
you?
special video to thank all of the amazing players and developers that have helped Siege become the game it is today.
In December 2015, a small team released Rainbow Six Siege.
I don't get how people can keep playing this game over and 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 over again. Like, I played it for like a week, and then I got bored of it.
Competitiveness and team play.
Like, I got good at it, and then I stopped playing it.
C'est un début, mais pour nous aussi. Il faut tout de suite s'engager et dire aux joueurs, ce jeu est installé, tu peux t'y installer aussi, et nous serons là.
I guess it's like
That
Counter-Strike.
original vision was quickly adopted by our passionate community, propelling it to a whole new level.
This is such a special moment, and being at 1 year anniversary of Rainbow Six now, game being stronger than ever, and more players together than we had in the past, it means the world to us.
We want Far Cry
But we
6.
also had
I
our share
don't.
of challenges.
I'm sick of Far Cry. I do not want another Far Cry, but we're getting one.
On subject like matchmaking, connectivity,
I'm so
all
fucking
those
bored
aspects are
of Far
absolutely
Cry.
critical to the experience of the player.
Through it all, we're always driven by you, our community, and together, we grow stronger.
But the even number ones are
No
usually the
sequel
good
plan,
ones,
and we're
though.
here
So
for the
6
next
might be good.
10 years, so expect more Rainbow Six in your life.
The odd
for
the odd
quite some
numbers
time.
are the bad ones with Far Cry. What the fuck was that?
Look at this.
What I want? Oh well, Watch Dogs looks really good. But I'm a bit biased because it's in London and I'm British. Assassin's Creed I want to see. I'd like a new Rayman, but that's not going to happen.
Now 60 million players strong, we're just getting started. From the devs that build the game to the community that plays it, thank you.
If you haven't tried it yet, dive into our new Operation Steel Wave update available now and take Ace and Malusi out for a spin.
A few days ago, we introduced y'all to a brand new multiplayer shooter. Now, it's time to venture into the hyperscape.
Is it out yet? It's out today, isn't it? Or tomorrow? These games don't have any replay value for me. Once I've won a single match, I don't feel the need to ever play it again. I think it's such a waste of like cool
What was that?
universe.
In the hyperscape.
Like they have this insanely
That's not supposed to be there.
in-depth universes for just a battle royale game.
Speed, okay? About 30 years ago, everything that we feared
Like
about
why
our
do you
future
don't need a
started
you don't
to
need a
come true.
setup. It's just
We
a
made some good decisions.
battle royale game.
We
I
made
don't
some
need to
bad
know why they're
decisions.
doing it
Actually, we made a lot of bad
or
decisions.
why the world is like it is.
So, here we are. 10 billion souls living in the crush of the megacities.
Oh, what? It's like
The people
VR,
at
is it?
Prisma changed everything. They gave everyone a way out. The hyperscape.
Okay. Like a battle royale game. So it's about a universe where people are bored out of their minds, so they play battle royale games in VR, in a VR headset. That's a sign of the times. I like that whole countdown thing. Do you see that in the actual game? Are there board like billboards that say how many people are left? That's kind of cool. But the most of the game is just running and running and running.
If you get good at
Like these
progression,
games need to make it
it
so
can change your life.
they have proper like
But strange things have been
movement
happening
systems
lately.
and like proper good traversal systems.
Rumors of people getting hurt. Users.
Because what do you do in a battle
disappearing
royale
from the real
game?
world.
90% of the time, you are running with nothing happening.
A darker secret
So they need to
lies
make
at the heart
movement
of hyperscape,
fun.
and we have to find it.
But most of the time, it's just holding shift.
Some of us
and
are
W.
searching for a way up. Some of us for a way out. And for others, a new way altogether.
Like
That's what
Apex
brings us to the edge
should have
of
done
the
it well,
future.
but for some reason they
To the
decided to not put
hyperscape.
Titans in the game, even though it's set in the Titanfall universe. I'll never understand that.
I'm JC, Creative Director on Hyperscape.
JC's work on Far Cry Primal and multiple Prince of
Oh
Persia
great!
titles
Far
has
Cry. Oh,
established
Prince
him
of
as a top
Persia!
creative
Bring that
here at
back!
Ubisoft.
Bring Prince
For
of
me, what's
Persia back,
exciting
for
is,
Christ's
we
truth.
started building it from
That was
scratch.
great.
Seeing it grow, adding ideas is really cool.
Hello, contender. Welcome to the Hyperscape.
And now
The
for
game
something
takes
that
place
doesn't
in
look anywhere near as
2054.
good as that
It's in a
actual
future
thing.
where humanity
You
has
just saw.
grown a little darker.
Do I think that game can
One
succeed?
of the
This
companies
game?
there,
I've no
they are
idea.
launching what's called the Hyperscape, which is a virtual world.
These
And
games
the
are
internet of
huge
the
for a
future.
hot
It's a
moment
place
and
where
then they
everything converges.
die down to their actual player base.
Within the virtual world,
So you have to
there
see
is
how
a
many
battle
people they
royale
hold.
that takes place in the virtual city of Neo Arcadia.
See, this game like has
Then we
some
also
interesting
introduce
traversal
a lot of new
mechanics,
things.
so that
You
could make
get
it
the opportunity
interesting.
to do parkour on the rooftops, to go into interiors where it's much
Actual
more narrow,
moving
much more
around
stressful.
is fun,
You get to go to the
maybe.
landmarks where there's more opportunities to get cool items, but also more players, so it's a risk-reward kind of deal. We introduced the notion of hacks, special abilities that you can pick up on
In
the fly to adapt
Fortnite,
your tactics.
in PUBG,
With hacks, you
in
can do things
Warzone,
like teleport yourself.
moving is not
You
fun.
can wrap yourself into a ball and bounce around the battlefield.
See, look at
So
that.
A lot of abilities that let you have fun, that are toys that you can play with. And finally, it's made as a spectacle, so all the viewers will be able to interact with the game on different levels through the Twitch extension. So every few minutes, there's going to be a vote, and
I just wish
viewers
these
will be
games had
able
like
to decide
like
what
different
effect
game
they want to
modes
affect
and
the
not
whole
just.
battle. So
Because what
things
people
like
don't
changing
realize
the
is that
gravity,
Battle Royale is
infinite
just a
ammo,
game
or
mode.
stuff
It's a
like that.
single
So
game
players,
mode.
while this happens, really have
You
to
need
adapt
more
to
than that.
all
You need a
kinds of
team
stuff that is
deathmatch. You
happening.
need to capture the flag. You know, you need a domination.
So for me, it's really
you know,
exciting
something like
because
that.
right now, as we
alongside
speak,
it.
we're launching the open beta, and so it's going to be available for free-to-play for all PC players worldwide. And I really want to thank
All the surprises were leaked,
players, all the
Nina. That's the
streamers,
problem.
all the
Because
viewers who
if
participated
Ubisoft
in
was
tech
Noah's
tests and
Ark,
participate in the open beta. Here's a short glimpse
we'd all be
of what you
extinct.
can expect.
Because it would have leaked and it would have sank.
Watch and learn how it's done. Perfecto.
Showtime.
That's mine. Let's show them what I'm made of.
I do like PUBG. I think PUBG is one of the better Battle Royale games, personally. It's one of the most fair ones. It feels a lot fairer than a lot of this bullshit with crazy legendary weapons you pick up. Like, there's too much luck involved in Fortnite and games like that, and Warzone. Whereas PUBG feels a lot fairer. I feel like the actual good players win in PUBG, whereas it's just so much luck involved in the other ones. Alright, open beta. Free 30 tier battle pass. Oh no,
The
it's a
digital
battle
world of the
pass.
Hyperscape gave our artists and
Yeah.
developers incredible freedom when it came to designing characters.
I don't like
Production
Fortnite.
manager Anna Maria Musca is going to take us behind the scenes of character design.
I don't really understand why Fortnite's not a very good game.
My name
That's
is
the
Anna
problem.
Maria Musca. I'm the production
It's a
manager
bad
for characters
third-person
and weapons on
shooter.
Hyperscape. We have paid an exceptional amount of detail to our characters. We switch different outfits, different fashion statements, different tattoos, different
But it's a
materials
first-person
until we see them
game.
as real individuals, as real people. So the second you pick a character, you see them in game, you understand what their motivations are and what drives them and what challenges them. This was the first lineup of characters. This is our default base, but even starting from the hair down, everything has been meticulously thought of. Would this person actually like this type of outfit? Would this person enjoy the type of tattoos that we're putting on them? Will they actually like to be in this body? Each season, we plan to produce new outfits for these characters. So we're hoping some of our players are gonna see the effort and maybe
they're already like
some of
looking towards the future,
to
but it's
gonna
like,
happen in the game.
Jesus Christ. Don't even know how it's
Very
going to pan
excited to
out
see it
yet.
in
It's not even
people's
out properly. Yeah, Uplay is down, yeah.
As we move into the next generation of gaming, Ubisoft has been working closely with console makers to take advantage of all the extraordinary capabilities these new consoles will offer.
Now we have a special guest to tell us a little more.
Well, our games
Hey,
can't
everyone.
run on them
Phil
properly
Spencer from
because
Xbox.
we're shit at
With Watch Dogs
optimization.
Legion, Ubisoft is supporting smart delivery.
I'm the head of
So you
fucking
will get the
Microsoft, but can't
absolute
afford a
best version of the
microphone.
game on any version of Xbox you're playing on. On Series X,
The head of Xbox, sorry,
you
not
get to
Microsoft.
take advantage of the amazing work the team has done with DirectX ray tracing to create an absolutely immersive version of London
That
like
runs
you've
at
never
5 frames
seen
a
before.
second.
Ubisoft has a unique ability to create immersive worlds, setting a new bar that continues to drive our industry
No, they
forward.
don't. They're not immersive
I'm
at
a
all.
huge fan of
There's a
Assassin's
million
Creed.
fucking icons on the
I
screen
love
at
the time I've
once.
spent
That's not
exploring
immersive.
the world in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I can't wait for you to see the gameplay from Assassin's Creed Valhalla that's coming
We've
up
seen it already.
All right, we know you've been waiting to hear more about this game since it was
Oh,
announced back
please
in
look
April.
better.
And now it's time for a
Please
deep
look
dive
better
into
than the
world
leaks.
of Vikings.
Please.
My name is Julien Laferrière, and I'm the producer of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So a couple of weeks ago, we announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the reaction from the fans was just amazing. The time period of
No, it wasn't.
Vikings is
You're lying.
really, really inspiring. When we did our research, we found that, you know, they were not mindless barbarians. Vikings were actually farmers trying to find new lands for them to settle. And so they had really human motivations. So for us to have this opportunity to tell kind of the real story about Vikings and kind of separate ourselves from the myths and the folklore is really something that drove us to make this game. The team went to Norway and England.
Why are you showing
to take
this?
the same
Show
roads
the
that the
game.
Vikings
This
did
isn't the game.
to
This is
really
real life.
experience
I
what
play
it
games
meant
to get
be
away
a
from real
Viking
life.
at that time. And then leaving Norway, which is barren but majestic, and just coming.
That's where I
by
want to go.
boat
Norway, New
in
Zealand,
England,
Sweden.
and see those rolling green hills full of sheep, full of life, is just this moment that most likely the Vikings felt as well. You need to see this land of opportunity. And this is exactly the feeling we want players to experience in this game.
Why they pick up legendary
It is
loot.
a personal adventure. You know, it is the story of Eivor, a Viking chieftain. Eivor is either a male or a female. You decide when you start the game.
They're both called
They
Eivor,
will have to
no matter
leave
if you're a
Norway
man
to
or a
settle
woman.
in England because you just can't live in Norway anymore. There's too much political pressure, no resources available.
It'd be cool if you got to start in Norway and then you
Obviously, in England,
went to
it's full
England.
of Anglo-Saxons and other people, and they don't really want you there. So you will have to fight your way there to kind of build your own settlement and see your clan prosper. Vikings were brutal warriors.
Go the game.
Shields!
At least we got shields back. It's so
And
dumb
the
not to
fact
have
that
shields
they
in
were
Odyssey.
mastering a lot of weapons coming from the medieval times really inspired us to kind of revamp the fight system.
This is not what the game looks like,
Leverage
by the way.
brutality and the intensity of Viking combat.
Revamp the combat system. I've seen the gameplay. It's the
Vikings
same as
were
Odyssey,
not only
but you've
fighting
added a stamina
face-to-face,
bar.
They were masters of stealth and deception when needed. They used basically any sort of tactics they could use to win the battle. So we want to portray the full range of combat that you can imagine coming from the Vikings.
He's got a hidden blade. But how's that even going to work in the game?
We are
Not very hidden, is it?
happy
It's on the
to
outside
finally
of his
be able
fucking
to
arm.
show you the game we've all been working on. So please enjoy this deep dive.
Okay, let's see what it
into
looks like.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Please look better. Well, the fucking leaks were work in progress. You can't just say work in progress.
In Assassin's Creed
Oh, it looks the same as the
you will
actual.
relive
Is
the
it the
epic
actual
saga
leaks?
of the Viking invasion.
This was in the leaks. Oh no.
You play
It's
as
the same.
Eivor, a Viking from Norway, who will lead his or her battle-hardened warriors across the North Sea to the British Isles. Eivor is driven by an ambitious goal: to build a thriving Norse settlement in a hostile land.
Oh dear.
It is time we go
Oh,
a Viking.
no.
Today we raid, that tomorrow
Oh.
we may build.
England is a dark age.
I'm so
tangled with
depressed.
broken kingdoms and warring
Why can't you
dynasties.
be good?
A land of opportunity and riches. As you prowl England's rivers by longship, you may raid locations.
At least the camera's
spot from
better.
shoreline.
The camera is awful in
Ground
Odyssey.
your ship and blow
Still.
your horn to lead your raiding crew into battle.
Why does it look really washed out? Frame rate. Oh dear.
Your crew will
Assassin's
assist you
Creed
in
is my
all your raids,
favourite franchise,
fighting enemies,
and I hate what it's become.
battering down doors, and stealing cargo.
It just
too
makes me
heavy
depressed,
for one
man.
set of arms. Whatever
sad.
riches and resources you pillage may be used to develop your settlement, giving you access to useful services, better tools, and new settlers. At the heart of your settlement is the Alliance map. It will serve as a record of the allies you have made, and a guide for future opportunities.
Well, considering there was a
Viking Age
2-year
was a time
gap,
of
I expected
warriors
something
and
different.
legends. In Valhalla, you will find the largest variety of enemies ever assembled in an Assassin's Creed game. Every archetype offers a unique challenge.
I mean, the environments look
Some
nice.
will coordinate with their allies for special attacks, while others will use nearby objects to their advantage, including the bodies of fallen warriors. To face these attacks,
But when they
you
took a
must
2-year
find
gap
and
from
exploit
Syndicate
your
to
opponent's
Origins, there was a
weaknesses
big
to gain
change
the
up.
upper hand.
Big change up. It
Take
was
the fight to your
very
foes
different.
with a host of brutal new combat abilities. Snare them
Scorpion?
with a Viking harpoon.
What?
Pummel
Get
them with
over
throwing
here.
axes.
Okay.
Incapacitate them with the new stun system to keep them at a distance, or finish them off. Dual wield any two weapons
I
you
like the
wish
UI,
to unleash a deadly combination of
guess.
attacks. Customize your fighting style as you see fit, and become a legendary Viking warrior. All combinations of weapons.
Looks like
are
there's a bit of
available to
impact
dual wield,
in the
including
combat.
2 shields.
You can have 2 shields. Wow, okay.
Not all situations
Oh.
call for violence.
Okay.
In this new land, a Viking must find a way to adapt.
Okay. They're bringing it back a
As
bit.
Eivor is not welcome in England.
Cool.
You may need to outsmart your enemies, avoiding unwanted attention in towns and bustling cities. Use Eivor's hood and cloak to blend with crowds, and slip past watchful eyes. An unseen hunter among the people.
Maybe they are changing it up a bit.
From capital cities and villages to the dense
quite
forests
dense.
and rolling hills of England, exploration is vital to keeping yourself sharp. You must feed off the land if you hope to endure. Hunt
Okay,
and forage to replenish your
maybe.
health and fortify your equipment. Search pagan temples and Roman ruins for new activities and challenges to strengthen yourself and your settlement.
I just hope it runs well. That's a problem.
The more you
If it run, I
explore,
can't deal with it
the
running
more of
like shit
England's
again.
secrets you will reveal.
Ravens, show no mercy!
But as you push deeper into England, the enemy will push back. In a series of climactic moments, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature massive assaults in which you will lead Eivor's army into battle against heavily guarded Saxon fortresses.
Today we will claim her. Today we fight for your land, and tomorrow.
Oh god, the facial animations are so bad. Oh, the animations are so bad.
Will transport you to wondrous and haunted lands, inspired by Norse myths and England's pagan roots. It will challenge and surprise.
Thank you, man.
With unforgettable characters, thrilling triumphs, and tragic losses, giving you the chance to live your own Viking saga.
Okay, I don't know. It looked better than... I didn't think there would be all that stealth stuff in it, so that makes me a little bit more hopeful. A little bit. I thought it was going to be literally the exact same, but there are
England is truly unlike anything the franchise has seen before.
A few.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will release this holiday season on Xbox Series
November
X,
17th.
PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Stadia.
We're close to wrapping up today, but before
Oh
we go,
no,
our
is that
CEO,
it?
Yves Guillemot, is here to share a few words.
I love gaming.
I hope you will have enjoyed what you have seen today, and that you will love playing these games. I'm proud of our teams for delivering an ambitious, broad, and creative lineup of games. And we haven't shown you everything yet. In fact, we have a lot more to come. So you will have another Ubisoft Forward to reveal even more about our upcoming games. But before ending this show, we have one more thing
You're
to
doing
share
another
with you.
conference. Far Cry 6. Are they actually gonna like show gameplay or just a trailer? Because I don't give a shit about a trailer. I want... It's Far Cry 6. Show some fucking gameplay. They're not gonna show any gameplay. I don't care about a fucking trailer. Cinematic trailer. I don't give a shit. I want the game. Play. I'm so done with Far Cry. Far Cry is even more burnt out than Assassin's Creed. It's that guy from Breaking Bad. My god. I don't care about Far Cry anymore. Don't give a shit. Unless it's like made from the ground up for next gen, it's probably just going to be the same again. Is that a girl or a boy? I can't... Like, people were thinking it was Vars. You gotta show some fucking gameplay for it. Come on. No. Ah! Oh. Oh. Is this in-game? Is that a boy or a girl? Is it Vars? No.
It's beautiful, amigo. Perfect, but useless. I have something for you, Diego.
Diego?
Papa. Now, the grenade is simple. It has 4 basic parts. The shell, which contains the explosive, the fuse, the handle, and of course, the pin.
What are you doing?
Breathe, Diego. Breathe. The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go that this grenade goes boom.
Wow.
Now. I am El Presidente, which means that someday you will be El Presidente. And our people, they do not know how to be happy. They are torn apart by opinions, noise, indecision, strangled.
How dare they have opinions?
Freedoms. And even if you have love in your heart, even if you want what's best for them, if you only want to save them from themselves,
The game won't look like this, though.
everything you say, do, believe, will be wrong. They will answer you with screams, call you evil, a monster, and give you this. So you tell me, are you evil? Are you a monster? Because our country is like this grenade, except it has two basic parts. Our people and you must clutch them nice and tight, or we all go boom. Do you understand now? Bullet.
You spent so much money on that fucking trailer, but you could have just shown some fucking gameplay and people would have been way more happy. Waste our time, waste your money.
And with that, we're wrapping up our
Wow,
first Ubisoft
that was
Forward.
shit. Watch Dogs looks good.
Today, we've seen the next generation of
Assassin's Creed
the birth of a resistance
meh.
in Watch Dogs Legion, the cyber chaos of Hyperscape.
The trailer was nice
the
though,
epic
but it's a
reveal
fucking
of Far
game.
Cry's
It's not a
newest installment,
movie.
along
Why don't
with
people
so much
understand
more.
this?
Remember, we'll be back later this year with another Ubisoft
Great.
Forward filled with tons of game news and updates.
Thanks for joining
That was
us.
rubbish. Assassin's Creed might... I don't know though. It looks like such a mixed bag.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ubisoft Forward post show. My name is Yusuf Magid, and
So this is the actual leaked
Assassin's Creed
footage.
Valhalla. We're gonna take a deep dive.
This is the
into about
actual
30
leaked
minutes of
footage we
gameplay,
saw.
And we're joined by a very special guest here.
Hey everyone, this is Philippe Bergeron, otherwise known as Fizz.
Wow.
I am the quest director on Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
So Fizz, we're setting up here for
I get
what
the feeling
looks like
half
an
this
epic
game will be
encounter.
great and
Tell
half
us
this
exactly
game will
what's
be
going on here.
utter
Yeah,
bollocks.
so here we're midway through the quest.
It's going to be such a
We're
mixed
showing,
bag. It's going to be
forward.
hurt by the fact that
Here we're looking at
it's
the
built
assault
from the ground
of
up.
Burnt Castle.
It's
So
built
these are
from
big
built on
moments
top of
that
Assassin's Creed
usually,
Odyssey. It's going to
sort
be
of
so
culminate
hurt.
at the end of the story.
I think
So
if it
here
was built from the
Eivor,
ground up, it
Viking
could have been
Raider,
great,
is taking
but
a
it's going to be
group
held
of
back
raiders and
by the fact
Furs
that it's
into
built
Burnt
off
Castle
of AC
to
Odyssey.
go and take down
Origins,
Rued,
I beat,
and his
I
clan.
loved, but I lost my
So
save
who
file.
exactly is Rued, and why does Eivor sort of want to pick a fight with him?
But I beat
Basically,
it.
Rued comes into play
Odyssey I haven't
about
beat
halfway
yet.
through this story arc, where
And I don't know if there
at
will
the
be
beginning
Odyssey because it's
of
too
the arc,
fucking
this is
long.
something that
Do
happened
I even
before.
want to beat
Rued
Odyssey
basically
before this
caused a lot of
comes out?
turmoil
Because
within
by the
the
time
territory,
I beat
and Oswald,
Odyssey,
who's
go
the
straight
sort of
into this, I'll be burnt
elder
out.
to inherit this
It's the
territory
same fucking
needs your help
game.
to take him down. Oswald having just been defeated in a previous quest, and so here this is revenge, but also accomplishing your ultimate goal.
So Fizz, as you're talking, we're seeing some of the combat of Valhalla. Can you tell us a little bit about the changes to combat this time around?
We
Like, I
wanted
like
to,
some of this
basically
like camera
add
work.
a
Looks
lot
cool,
of new
but
mechanics to it. So we added like some
again, it's
dual
built
wielding
off
for the
of,
player,
from
like a
Odyssey,
stun
which is a
system
real
in
problem.
there. And we really needed to do this to sort of portray that sort of the brutality that comes with being a Viking in this day and age. So it sort of fits into that the time and the character.
Like, I really want this game to be good. I love Assassin's Creed, but I'm not just because I love it. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a fanboy.
He lives.
Like, Unity was fucking trash.
Is that you? Shut your ass, twig spine.
Here, Eivor
So is
has taken her
Liberation.
entire army through the assault, and finally, it's revealed that our Elderman, our ally Oswald, is still alive, and Rued has him captive.
So this is what it comes to, Wolf.
Their facial animations look so bad. I hope they can tighten that up before the game comes out, but it's such a huge game. They probably won't have enough time to do
Come
that.
and get him.
So now that we've seen that Oswald is alive, we have Rued
Why is it
within
getting
our
worse? It looks like
sights. What's the
it
next
looks
step here?
like the facial
so the next
animation
move for Eivor is to finally
looks so
face off against Rued. She has her allies.
like worse
they can
than like
take care of the
Assassin's
rest of the
Creed
army.
Revelations.
Now it's time
I
to go
don't get it.
one-on-one against Rued in one of our boss battles, actually.
Your battle is not yet won.
Oh, you go. Add. I can't even pronounce
it's
your
worth
name.
pointing out, actually, that here what we're showing
B.
is the
Are you one of
player,
those retarded
going and
fucking
facing off against
cunts
Rued
who
aggressively,
has a problem
but
with women in video
tend
games?
to always have to support a 360-degree approach in these things. So the player could have approached this a little bit more stealthily and gotten at least like a good critical hit on either Rued or his wolf, and so you can play this a little bit more strategically if that's your playstyle.
So we're not only fighting Rued here, but also his pet wolf, right?
One of my preferred strategies is to eliminate the wolf first, just focus fire on him. It takes at least one opponent out of the combat. Now Rued will have
You are
extra abilities that
an
come into
idiot.
play if you do eliminate his wolf.
Abdirif.
But I think having one opponent less in the battlefield makes for a good strategy in the whole.
Wow, that looked Why'd you kick them so far away? That's really looks so janky.
Valhalla is my destiny. That fate will not be met today. Riders, they should be roomed, wolf-kissed. Made thralls, not treated as equals. We are better than this, than all of them.
Do not drag me down to the sewage you wallow in.
We just again fight tooth and nail for a second.
There's different arrow types. What gets me is Odyssey is such a step down from Origins. Odyssey removes so many things. They remove different bow types, different horses, and they remove chariots, chariot racing.
What comes next?
Like, it felt
Oswald,
like
in
such
this
a
case,
step down.
prefers for Rued to be kept alive, and so you basically have to choose: are you going to go against his wishes or stay true to your nature?
So I hope they bring back like
So we have this choice
different
to
bow
make,
types.
But before
That'd
we
be
get
good.
into that, I want to rewind a little bit because we just did this big grand assault, but Eivor couldn't have done it alone. She clearly had to recruit some folks along the way, get some troops, get some allies. So let's actually rewind
Thetford.
and see how we went about first gathering those troops.
Thetford, I live
So
quite close to
when
Thetford.
coming up to an assault, it's a game of numbers.
Thetford Forest.
Eivor can go into pretty much any location.
Is that Thetford?
And be,
You pronounce Thetford with an
stealthy
O.
Viking,
Maybe it's not the actual.
eliminating some of
Maybe it's
the
Fiatford.
assets, which ultimately
Maybe
would
it's
be
this. Maybe
a
that's just what it
strategy.
was
You can
pronounced
do
back
that,
then.
and
Spelt
you'll
back
have
then. I
some,
don't know.
some of the ingredients
Let's have a look.
of the assets there that will have been sabotaged. But you
Will it
still
be the
need
whole of
an army.
UK?
So here what we're seeing is
That'd be
Eivor
mad.
going around the countryside and raising what we call a fyrd, which is
Fiat.
the men and the women of the territory who come up and fight in the name of a king. So here Eivor is going around and trying to
Well,
convince people
Fiatford
to
doesn't
fight
exist,
in the name
apparently.
of Oswald to finally take
I
down
put it
the
in
oppressor
Google.
that is Rued.
Maybe that's a typo in the game.
Will you not do the
It's
same?
Thetford.
What? Die in defense of a lost cause?
Yeah, so she's really using like the image and like the leadership that Oswald had, what he meant to the
Oh, and
people in
paintballing
his name.
in
She's going to
Thetford
recruit
Forest.
these people.
Pretty words, Dane. But the men of Theovard have their own battles to fight.
So we're told by this Reeve that there are troops, there are allies that he could add to our cause. But first, we
The
sort of need
faces
to do
look
him a
bad.
favor. Is that right?
I don't understand why they're so
so
bad.
Obviously these people have been run down by Rued and the impact he's had on the territory. So I think a lot of these people have.
I mean, if you caught this, you would just think it was Odyssey.
You need to show them
these
that there is hope.
conversations.
And so
I hate
here,
them in
Eivor is
Odyssey.
basically
They suck.
helping them take back one of their prized locations by taking a couple men and raiding a nearby township, basically taking it back for the people and showing
The fact that this
there's
looks the
reason to
same as
continue
Odyssey and
fighting
can't run
and then
at
get them on
4K 60 on the new consoles is a bit mad to me. Like, it's a last-gen game that can't run at 4K 60 on next-gen. No, this is not a next-gen game. This is a current-gen game that will be ported to next-gen. I'll tell you, the fucking sound effects are good.
Obviously, you have access to a full suite of abilities. So again, the improvements that we've done to
Visceral
the fight system,
sound effects.
You have some
This looks so. It's such a mash pit of all
so
of
really,
Odyssey,
again, like, depending on what your
and
playstyle
this
is,
game.
you can customize
Like
your
so
loadout
many of the
and
things
go in
don't
there,
fit.
how you wish.
Like that kick does not fit in this game. It should not be here. It's so out of place.
Fizz, we just saw this giant pulse go out. What exactly was that?
So that is what we call the Odin sight. The Odin sight is basically our interpretation of the eagle vision from.
It's called
previous
survival
games,
vision.
And we thought it was good to sort of bring that back. It's basically Eivor's intuition. It's how she perceives the world.
Are they actually going to
When
bring back
player uses
eagle vision
that, you
proper?
It'll highlight basically interactive objects,
No,
like things
it's just
that will bring her an
survival vision.
advantage.
It's
So
not actual
we'll have
eagle
arrows,
vision.
like health consumables that are in there. So it really is like a good way of sort of understanding the world and showing you like things that you can go and touch.
I mean, there could be a lot of shit under the surface that makes it a much more enjoyable experience than Odyssey.
Something we wanted to play with on
Like, you look at the Assassin's Creed games, they're basically all the same, but they vastly differ in quality and how good they are. How can that be? It's just because of the direction of the game. So it could still be really good, even though it looks the same.
Looting weapons, but we see something here called the Book of
Like,
Knowledge.
Unity is
Tell us a
terrible,
little bit more
but
about
Syndicate
that.
is one of the best Assassin's Creed
You can
games.
see the Valkyrie dive that has just been unlocked. We have these spread out throughout the world. So again, to promote exploration and discovery. As you travel through the world and you explore locations, you can find these
I mean, I'm
books
gonna
that will
buy it.
add
I'm a
abilities
big
that you can go and invest
Assassin's
in, put
Creed
into your
fan.
loadout, then go into the different locations with the different
I wish
quests
there
in
was
the
more
game and use
parkour
those
climbing
depending on
stuff
what your
like
playstyle
this.
is.
But there's just not any buildings, that's the problem.
Now we've recaptured this village, we've secured more
Just
troops
fucking
for our
forests.
assault. Let's jump back now and figure out what
And
we
they
want to
haven't
do with the room.
they haven't brung back the tree running stuff from Assassin's Creed 3.
The rightful king of East Anglia has spared your life today.
East Anglia,
and so it will be.
Suffolk, Bury, St Edmunds, Cambridge.
Compassion is a virtue suited for anyone, Eivor, including you. Thank you.
Eivor decides
I
to
don't
let him
know.
live. Ruud is
I don't know if I'm
really
gonna play as
angry
the woman
about
or the
that. Being a
man.
Norse Viking, being put to the death in battle is your road
Because
to
usually the
Valhalla,
woman,
so he was
the woman voice actors are
denied
usually
access to
better, but they've
Valhalla in
been
this situation.
awful.
Obviously,
Cassandra
all
was
these
an
decisions
awful
come
voice
into
actor.
play
I don't.
later on in the game,
Alexios
so
was so much
we
better,
have very
but Evie
difficult
was
decisions for the players. We
great.
didn't want to have
In
easy.
usually Assassin's Creed does the female
Yeah,
characters
you know, when
really
I was
well.
playing, I decided
the
to listen to Oswald and
the female
spare Ruud's
character
life,
in
but
Unity was
what
great.
exactly is the
Evie was
relationship like
great.
between Eivor and Oswald?
Ezio's love
So the
interests
relationship between Eivor
were all
and
great.
Oswald is an alliance. It's basically Eivor.
But they've been
is
really
surrounded
terrible
by
in the last two
territories,
games.
that initially getting into England are hostile towards
Very
her. And obviously, if you want to
13-year-old
set up a
boy
new
writing
settlement,
kind of
you want to
style.
make sure that your neighbor is friendly.
I hope they get, I
so
hope they,
here in East
I hope they either get rid of the sex stuff or improve it, because it is just awful in Odyssey. It is just like, can you have sex now? How about now?
So
now?
earlier on to the
Now?
territory,
Now?
Eivor
You
comes
just
in
keep
here,
badgering
meets
them
Oswald.
over and
The
over
problems
again.
he had with Rued are sort of put to light.
It's
and
just
Going
ridiculous.
through the arc, you basically help him deal with Rued and aligning basically Danes with Saxons in one territory.
So, Fizz, we've completed the assault. We've gotten our hands dirty with some combat, taken down Ruud. we have this big open region of East Anglia, so before we head off to
Horse
Oswald's
riding has
wedding,
always been
what do you
shit
say
in
we
Assassin's
head out,
Creed.
have some fun, and see what we can get into in the open world?
That sounds great.
Look, it's hard to
So we see a
kind of
cat
see how
here
good the
with a
graphics
speed
are
bubble
because of
above
the
it,
fucking
and you best believe if
streaming.
you let me talk to a cat, I'm gonna talk to a cat.
Yeah, these are some of our
the bit rate.
Some
But
of
the
my favorite
faces look
moments actually
terrible,
in
but the
game, where we
environments
put
look quite
put out
nice.
a whole bunch of events throughout the territory. And it's sort of
It's like the opposite of The
rewards,
Witcher 3.
exploration, going around.
The environments
It's
look shit,
chance
but the
for us
faces
also
look
to
really
sort of
good in The Witcher
showcase
3.
a different side of Eivor. A lot of the quests sort of deal more with like
Very
politics
awkward
and
and
warfare, and this shows a slightly more
stiff.
human nature to her. So it permits us to explore that character a little bit more. And so here, basically, like you're trying to help a kid with his cat, and ultimately get that cat to sort of join your crew.
I beg your
as a
pardon?
cat raider.
Cat's
You
gonna
just said
join
cat
your
raider
crew.
way too casually. You're telling me I could have
Wow.
a cat Viking raider on
So
my
you don't have
launcher?
a you don't have a big
exactly what I'm
boat.
telling you.
Oh my god,
You've
yes,
got
I love it. Perfect.
a tiny boat.
So yeah, as you're riding around
little
the,
raid
the,
boat.
the rivers of England, you would see a cat basically walking around your longship, keeping your Viking raiders company.
You know, speaking of the Viking longship, we're seeing some of that gameplay here now. Can you talk a little bit about how that works and functions in Valhalla?
Yeah, so,
Because
so
England has
starting
got
out
very
on this project, I
narrow
think the Viking
rivers.
longship is one of the biggest images
about the River
that we all
Thames?
have when we think about Vikings in our game. And so Vikings had this awesome design for longship that had a very shallow hull, so it permitted them to go very far inland very quickly, and you could basically disembark Viking raiders like on pretty much any shore. We added that into the game where you can basically sail up to any location and then just decide to disembark with your guys and raid a location, loot all its treasure, get back in the ship, and then continue sailing down the river.
The problem with
to your
Odyssey
next
is that
opportunity.
there was such
So I know past
vast,
Assassin's Creed
vast
games allowed for songs
amounts
and
of
things like
time
that
where
to
you're
be
not on the
sung
ship,
ships.
and the ship
Will
stuff is
Valhalla
really
have
cool.
a similar version of that?
Yeah, so this is
But you can
something
go like
we
tens
actually
of hours
wanted
where you're not even on the
the
ship in
crew of your
Odyssey.
ship to become like your home away from home. So we added stories and songs into the ship. So basically, as the player is going around, you could decide to have your
Just go back
skull
and play
sort of
Black
sing a song
Flag.
for you as you row down the river. But you can also decide, depending on who the raiders are in your ship, to hear more about their life. So you can actually queue up stories, and they'll give you a little bit more background on who they are. So you get to know your sort of fighters as you're traveling around the world, which is a cool.
This run at 1440p, 60 frames? Probably not.
So here we're seeing a bit of a different view. What exactly are we looking at?
Cinematic
we had this
vision.
on previous Assassins where you would like ride on your horse and you could pull out, have the horse sort of follow the track. We have a similar thing for the ship where you can put up your sails. It's cruise control for the ship, so you can pull
keep
back,
saying-
take in
there's
the
like
scenery, listen
crazy
to some
like
songs, listen to
lasers going
stories,
through the fucking
and just take it all
air.
in.
It's just like weird lens flare.
So, you know, speaking of Viking songs, we have an activity here that's not exactly singing, but kind of related, right?
Yeah, so here what we have is what we call flighting, which was an activity that Norse people would partake in. They would like to have a battle of wits and sort of poetry where insults would be thrown back and forth between each other. The idea was to try and have a good insult, but also to have a good rhythm and a good rhyme in there. So it's basically a precursor to
Did Assassin's
rap
Creed
battles.
need this conversation stuff, really? Origins didn't.
Here's the silver.
That was fine.
Now begin.
To all those whom I speak, they say
I think if it's done poorly, it can it can hurt the game a lot more.
Then you're speaking
if
to
if
fools
you know
and their
if it wasn't
knowledge
even
is
there.
flawed.
If it wasn't there, it'd be better.
How exactly
Better to
do
not
you
have
go
it
about being
if
successful
you're gonna do
in
it
one of these?
poorly.
The trick behind a good flight was to choose the right insult, identifying the right cadence, and then
Who's gonna do
trying to
this though?
find
Who's
what
gonna
rhymed the
bother
best.
doing this?
I'm known for my might.
Interesting. Interesting. Silent whispers all claim that you're terribly dense.
Oh, great. Fuck me.
Then you've clearly misheard them. My wit is immense.
Oh, you lucked out with that one. Well, what a surprise. Eivor of the
How do you know
Raven
who's
clan is a
fucking
true
won?
talent. I'm shocked.
Don't believe everything you hear, unless it touches on my flighting. Then heed every word.
Take the coin.
So now that we've proven our sharp tongue and wit, I think it's time for a bit more relaxing activity. So we're fishing here.
Yeah,
Fishing!
That's it. So we gave
10 out of
Eivor a
10.
fishing line, so you can actually throw out a line and go catch some fish. This is used basically to play into our new health loop, where the player will lose health in the world, and it doesn't automatically regenerate like we would have in the past. So you actually have to go out and get some
That sounds
supplies.
awful.
So you'll find mushrooms.
I hate that.
And some food that you can gather. But here, like you can also catch some fish and consume that to regain some health. We also will sometimes have it in certain quests. So it's a good way to sort of chill out on the side of the water and just, again, take it all in. So this is what we call one of our offering altars. So the idea is that you find these around the world and you make offerings.
Why didn't they
to
show
it.
this in
So
the
it'll
actual
take, like,
main
animal parts and
event?
stuff that you can find throughout the
Why
world.
did they show off
Here, what
bullshit
you're seeing, though,
cinematic
is sort of
trailers
like
that no one gives a fuck
fancy
about?
version of it, where as you do your offering,
Like,
you get
this is the main
interrupted by
event.
some kids that basically come and steal your stuff. So it was just a way for us to sort of showcase that, like, the systems and the activities in the world can sort of play in with some quests and some little events. So it's our way to sort of dress up these moments and.
So there's no levels anymore, apparently. You got like a power
this seemed like a
rating,
really
which is
sort of
based on how many
unexpected turn
skills
for
you
what
got,
I thought was gonna
apparently.
be kind of a simple interaction.
Yeah, and it's really what we were trying to do with these events is to give another dimension to Eivor, other than just, you know, the pure rar Viking or the politician. Because you can imagine at some point that will grow old if you're always telling that version of the character. So it lets us really go into the depth of who is Eivor, what motivates her, how she can interact with the world outside of warfare and politics.
If they're gonna make you spend so much time looking at the faces, why don't they
And it
get
also
them right?
showcases,
Why
like,
don't they
a
make them
different
look not
facet
awful?
of the world at the same time. It's not only Eivor. So it just widens the breadth of the stories that we can tell.
So who exactly are these two children?
These are kids of East Anglia. They
Yeah,
are
we
going
knew
through
that.
tough times.
It's not even a
with
Splinter Cell
whatever
game.
Rude's
Splinter
been
Cell,
doing
Sam
for the
Fisher is just
territory.
in it as a
And
cameo.
So they're just here trying to survive and basically exploit the people that are there to make offerings.
It was kind of nice to see that Eivor wasn't really necessarily upset at them for stealing, and, you know, after you talk to them, you have the choice of helping them. You can, you know, give them food, give them some money, or, you know, maybe just say, hey, good luck, on your way.
Yeah, and then this is something we also wanted to do a lot. Like, so here we're doing an event, we do it in quests as well, but we want to give a lot of this agency into players' hands so that they can sort of shape Eivor a little bit. Who she is, so it represents them a little bit more, and they can roleplay that a little bit better. And again, it just gives her like a little bit more humanity in these moments.
Large walkers should do. Provide for small walkers.
They're releasing.
Here, large
They're releasing
walker.
Watch Dogs in October,
Yes, it's
and
the
then they're
same
releasing
seal. You're welcome here anytime.
fucking
large
Assassin's
walker.
Creed in
You're
November.
one of us now.
Why are they
Visit
doing
us,
this
okay?
again? Stop
I will.
releasing
Take
so many
care now,
fucking
Small
games.
green walkers.
So I think
Space
AC
them out.
veterans might recognize this here, but what exactly is Eivor chasing down?
Yeah, so here you're seeing Eivor running
Oh,
down
what was that?
one of our
Oh my god, it's
tattoo,
these things again.
images. So this is
From Black Flag.
challenging the player on free run abilities, but also for fans of the series, sort of pulling at their heartstrings for some beloved features.
So are we going to be able to tattoo Eivor?
Yes, by collecting these tattoos, you actually bring them back to your settlement,
Tattoos!
and then you can customize different body parts, having different tattoos everywhere. So again, another form of expression, and it's sort of to represent that Viking culture.
They're trying to
Fizz,
please
one
some
of my
old
favorite things
fans.
when I was just out there exploring East Anglia was coming upon a house or a building and realizing that there was a chest inside, but that there was no easy way in. And in this case, I saw all the doors were barred, but I knew that because there was a chest in there, there must have been some way to get inside.
Oh look, they brought that
so
back.
I went around the back.
They brought the
and,
Predator
you know,
bow back.
found
you can
a way.
first person it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So maybe
you
it'll be
actually
more like
caught onto that.
Origins.
You're
If it's
pointing
more
at
like
something that we
Origins, then
wanted
that's great
to
because Origins is
work on a
brilliant.
lot on Valhalla,
But Odyssey
where
is
we wanted the
meh.
exploration to make you feel smarter. So we.
Well, no one cares
play a
about
lot with
Aloy because the
puzzle
Horizon
solving,
Zero
so
Dawn's a terrible
making sure
game.
that every house that you find sort of appeals to you, like it draws your attention, and then when you want to come and explore, it's not given to you. You still have to work for it a little bit, so it'll challenge you on your observation skills.
Yeah, I mean, they should have made a
logic,
new
just trying to
series,
find,
really.
How do I get into this?
We
So
don't even
play
know
a
how
lot
this
with,
ties to Assassin's
level
Creed
design,
apart
quest
from
design to
the
offer
blade,
challenges to
and the
players
blade is just kind of there.
basically come out
You
of
barely
it,
even
like,
fucking
with a
use
better
it.
feeling for the exploration, but you also get to see
Like, how does it even tie
more
in
of a
at
story
all?
behind any of these locations. Which
Where's
we've
the
crafted.
Animus?
So it gave
Where's
us
the
a little bit more
precursor
time to sort of
race?
slow down the experience and tell a different version of a story.
Where's Juno?
A poor
Where's
victim of
Minerva?
someone's
You know.
fury.
Yeah, I mean,
Where are all
speaking
these
about
characters that just
exploration and
vanished
finding things
out
of
of
the
thin
world,
air?
I was just wandering and came across this clearing and found this kind of morbid altar.
Yeah, so this is one of our bigger events that we have scattered in the world. So as Eivor explores, she can
Eivor.
find altars like this,
Aloy.
and by interacting with them, here it's a trap that's been set by this character named Regan. Now there's a bigger story behind all this. There's multiple.
Oh my god!
steps to
It comes.
later
This
on.
game comes out 2 days
this is
before
one of the moments.
Cyberpunk. Why would
it
you
permits
do
us to go
that?
into a slightly more
Why?
mystical realm and
Why are you
play
so
with a boss
fucking
fight that
stupid?
has more magical abilities, if we will, and basically have this
Oh,
awesome boss fight
this is the
in the middle of the
problem.
swamps.
No one can play two
And so here the
100-hour
abilities that you
games,
see, Reagan
if not
using,
longer,
like,
in
are
2
a little bit on
days.
the mystical side of
It's not
things.
possible.
What's happening is Eivor at the beginning of that trap is
Stupid.
poison, and
It's
so
so
she starts
stupid.
sort of hallucinating, seeing the world
Stop
in a sort of
doing
different
Well, this game will
light
probably,
and
like-
filter. And
No, I
so
don't know.
that's sort of what lets
I
us
don't know.
go
I wouldn't be
into
surprised
this,
if
the
this
realm
game
of the weird.
sold more than Cyberpunk, but I don't know. Odyssey sold a shit ton, didn't it? I need to play day 1. Why not? Assassin's Creed Odyssey fails.
Enough is cracking and crashing. Let rest your demons.
So we just saw here that Regan belongs
Yep.
to something called the Daughters of Lyria.
Yeah, that's correct. By finding the other daughters, you'll get a little bit more backstory on who they are, so we don't want to spoil that too much. But it creates like a sort of greater story that is not on the main path in any way, but it is still very rich. and
Assassin's
adds
Creed
to
has sold
the
140
lore of this
million
world and
units
actually plays
as
into
a
history.
franchise.
So we just
Damn.
had a really exciting, really intense boss battle. I think it's time for something a little bit more relaxing and calming now.
Yeah, it's all about pacing yourself with the highs and the lows. So here we have a low chill moment of what we call building a cairn. So Eivor, as she explores the world, will find these sort of meditative areas where you have a pile of rocks that you could just stack on on top of one another using physics. And I mean, yeah, the ultimate goal is to try and get the highest.
I think
pile of
Odyssey
rocks,
sold
but
more than
really it's
Origins.
about
I think
taking in the
the Assassin's
sights,
Creed games
relaxing,
have
taking a
just
step
sold
back
more and more and more
build,
each
just
year.
building something.
Together we stack
The
stones
fuck
into
is this?
cairns.
These?
Yes. Think of this as a test of mind and wit. Stack the cairn stones high and wide into any shape you like.
I mean, you can spend as much time as you want building these things, making them as high as you want, as weird as you want. I'm sure, like, a lot of these stuff will end up on the internet, like people comparing structures. And the cool thing is that once you've built it and you decide to get out of it, it sort of stays there. And so that's yours, right? And until the moment where you come back and you want to build a new one, it's sort of cool that we were able to give that to players to express themselves.
at this point in the demo, we've explored East Anglia, we've met some children, we've broken into a house, we fought a boss, we built a cairn. I think now it's finally time to go and head off to Oswald's wedding.
Yeah, so this is the moment it's all been building up to.
And Crash, Watch Dogs comes out in October. We got Crash Bandicoot coming out, Star Wars, Dirt 5.
Get married with his Dane lady. And so, as you go through the arc, that's sort of like the underlying
there's not
thread.
too
Really,
many
it's about
insane. I mean,
creating
September
turmoil in the
seems like a
territory
pretty
and
big
helping
month. We got
Oswald sort
Marvel,
of,
Tony
get
Hawk,
above that and show that he's a good leader.
Destiny 2
and so
expansion.
You finally,
Maybe
after
not.
going through all of that arc,
feels like a bit of a dead year.
Together, go through their
Maybe there's stuff yet
wedding,
to be
and you're
announced.
invited to attend the ceremony.
Release dates yet to
and
be
then all
announced.
the activities and fun times that comes afterwards.
Yeah, as much as we've seen the brutal side,
I don't understand
of
why you
England,
put these games
it's nice to
2
see,
days
the
apart.
joyous side of it as well.
Yeah, and it's something we really wanted
Stupid.
to
It's so
play on
stupid. They're going to
in
cannibalize
Valhalla,
each
where
other so badly.
Being a Viking is not only about being a raider or a warrior. I mean, there's revelry, there's feasting, there's partying that goes, and like if someone knows how to party, it's a Viking. And so here, this is one of our opportunities to sort of show that.
Like in
show
November,
a sort of Viking
so
gathering
far,
is. And what's cool here is it's a good alliance of
only
Norse
2 games
culture with Saxon
coming
culture,
out
sort of
so far.
smashing those two things together.
Chris Tales,
and
which
building
comes out
bridges.
the same day as this,
what's a wedding
and
without some
Cyberpunk.
archery, right?
Why not put this game at the beginning of November?
Yeah, so
There's like at least a couple
anything
weeks
can
between
happen
this
in
and
a Viking
Cyberpunk.
event,
Why
right?
2 days?
Eivor,
Or
yeah,
a couple
here-
weeks?
here
Put it in
just get
December.
drunk and shoot some
For
arrows.
fuck's sake.
Ah, barely a challenge.
Steady all, and ready yourself for the wedding race. The king and his bride against all.
My king.
This gaming industry, man.
So here we
Dum,
see
dum,
the
dum,
decision
dum,
I
dum,
made to
dum,
spare
dums.
Rued came back to bite us.
Yep, that's the decision you made coming back.
I should have thought with a 2-year gap,
as we said
they were
before, all
going
your
to actually
decisions have
change it up a bit.
consequences, and this is a big
But
one.
I thought that was the point of the 2-year cap, man.
I challenge.
Like they did with Syndicate to Origins. I don't get it.
I accept.
You're basically presented with the option to
Like, God
sort
knows
of
what
step
Far
in
Cry 6
for
is gonna even
Oswald,
look like.
Fight the fight for him, or let
Don't
him
know. We saw
go
a
and
fucking
fight his own
cinematic trailer
Yeah,
where the
you know,
game won't
personally,
look like
I chose
that.
to fight myself because I
The only thing that looks good is
Eivor
Watch
the type
Dogs,
of person
really.
that likes to finish
Watch Dogs
what he
looks really
started.
good.
Plank by plank, and a dead king cannot
Just hope it's
keep
not
his
buggy
oath.
as hell.
Let me finish this.
Oswald,
The problem is every game is now a huge 100-hour long open world game. And it's too much. It's way too much.
How does this encounter with Rued differ from our previous fight with him?
So at this point, you've eliminated his wolf, so it's just him, and so he's angry at this point, and so he will start using his.
How many
his
animations
big
look
gun
too
abilities,
fast?
Like, fairly
They don't look
early
like there's
on in the
good
fight.
transition
So
periods
it's
between
way more
animations.
vicious, way faster. There's less strategy. He
Like, they don't really
goes
transition, they just kind of
literally swords
immediately
blazing at you.
teleport into that animation.
And so this
You know
is
what
a
I'm
fight to
saying?
the death.
What's
And
that
of
bit
course
at the
here,
top?
Like, this is a decision you
Got
made
the health
to go
bar,
and
but then
fight
there's a
him,
bit at
but
the
there's
top as
multiple
well.
outcomes to this scenario. You could have let Oswald fight his own fight and prove basically his station.
They're showing an
as-
awful
as
lot of
the rightful
gameplay here.
leader.
It's like a lot of
if you
fucking
had
spoilers.
eliminated Rued, obviously this would not have happened. It would have been a slightly more joyous occasion. But ultimately, in all scenarios, you still have an alliance with Oswald. He's proven to be the right leader for this territory and to be a good ally
Done
for
East
you.
Anglia a great service. I promised you an alliance, and now you have it.
And one day I will need you to make good on that alliance.
So we're about to take off from the wedding, but Eivor decides it's a good idea
How
to
long
check
of
up
this
on her
is there?
friend, Finner.
Them doing this?
Yeah, so Finner is probably one of the more recurring characters in this arc. You get to meet him very early on. He's a very endearing character, sort
And
of
this is very low bit rate.
used to have a
Maybe
Viking
there's
life, sort of misses it.
maybe there's like an
and
actual
going
gameplay video of it
all
on
these adventures together.
Ubisoft.
It's sort of like
Not yet. They might release it afterwards. Oh no, here it is. Is it? What is it? It's still only 1080p. Great. So I can't really get that much of a better view of it, can I, really?
Play with a boss fight.
Okay, well, that was the end of it anyway, pretty
know
much.
a little bit more about him.
Well, folks, we've come to the end of our Assassin's Creed Valhalla playthrough. Fizz, thank you so much for joining us. When and where can people play it?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be out on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5.
Dislikes. Yeah, stealth. Like, they actually look like they have tried to bring back stealth a bit, but haven't showed it off at all. It's stupid. Stupid. Far Cry. I don't care. Fuck Far Cry. So Watch Dogs does look good. But we'll see. Well, we'll have to see what you actually do in the game, you know, if it actually gets boring or not. Because it could become boring. It could become very repetitive. Hopefully that has some, like, good main missions, like set-piece missions that are well crafted and not just, go here, kill enemies. That's it. Done. Do it 5 million times. So, yeah. Well, that was just... I don't know. They spent too much time focusing on cinematic trailers that no one cares about and not the actual games. And they're like spreading it out. They don't have enough. That's the problem. They don't have enough to spread it out over multiple live streams. It's stupid. Just show it off. Cut out the cinematic trailers and just show the games. I mean, fucking Nora. This shouldn't be here. This shouldn't be here. I mean, that's 6 minutes you've took up of the hour. You know, you've got this cinematic fucking trailer for Hyperscape, which is 3 minutes. That's 9 minutes of the hour. Then you got this fucking cinematic trailer for a mobile game. That's fucking 7.5 minutes. Another cinematic trailer. That's 8.5. You've already used like so much of your time, like over 10% of your time on fucking cinematic trailers. It's stupid. And like, Jesus. Just dumb. Well, there you go. Like, why not? Like, they have a 30-minute gameplay demo for Assassin's Creed Valhalla after the actual show that's about games, where they're supposed to be showing gameplay, but they don't. They decide to show movies instead of actual gameplay. It beggars belief. They've got it so backwards. So incompetent. Yeah.